Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Her Story TV and the Her Story podcast. This is Getrude Matshe here in beautiful Melbourne, Australia. And today I am graced with the presence of yet another fascinating woman coming to us from a completely different country that I didn't expect today. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our tribe. Please tell everybody your full name, where you're based, how old you are, and share your story with us today.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, because I know that we have listeners and viewers from all over. And my name is Valerie Fischer. I am 43 years old, and I am talking to you right now here in Manila, Philippines. So maybe that's why Gertrude said she wasn't expecting, and I am her first Filipino guest. So my story that I wanted to share with you today is, last year at the start of the pandemic, here in the Philippines, 5 million people lost their jobs. And I am one of them. I am part of the statistics. I lost my dream job. I was a chief marketing officer of a real estate company here. And just like that, just like that, from from the top to the bottom in almost overnight. But like many other stories, I wanted mine to be I still wanted mine to be a success story. I didn't stop there. So despite the anxiety, despite the shame, despite the confusion, despite the fear, actually most of it was shame and fear, I I started over. I started new. And what I want to share with you today is that it is possible. And it is possible almost, you don't have to, it doesn't have to take a long time, because mine took only 2 or 3 weeks for it to happen. And what helped me, which I want to share with you, is get from your past. Okay. So what I did was I took an inventory of what I have accomplished, and what I have done so far. And all of those actually made me realize that I'm not nothing, because at that time that I was feeling all the feelings, all the feelings of of shame and guilt and fear. I'm not nothing, because I have done those in the past. And those, the credentials, the experiences, my background helped me actually in my new job right now in my business. I was able to develop and eventually trademark a marketing method that I call, brain science selling. From all of my accomplishments, from all of my background, I was able to dig deep, get myself out, and from that experience, that is how I'm helping people now. That is, I'm telling them that this is what you do, even, in life or in business. You take an inventory, list them down. You will realize you are so much more than you think. You have accomplished so much more than you realized, and that will help you grow, or even start your business. And then it gives you a change in mindset. You will appreciate yourself more. You will be more grateful because you have that list. And from there you can distill, and then you can filter what you're good at, and what you're good at and what you have done, that's what you can share with people. And that's what happened to me, and that is also what I want to help people with right now. So my coaching program, my mentees, that's what I tell them. It's not, business is not just about, selling immediately, or posting on Facebook. It's not that. What are you going to tell them? What are you? Who are you? What are your values? What's your purpose? What's your character? And that is all rooted down when with with that exercise of taking an inventory of yourself, or of what you have, and all of your values, your background, your character. So that's me.
Wow, what an inspiring story. And I think the biggest lesson with everything you're saying, Valerie, is we do forget who we are. when you're faced with a crisis like that, you start looking at all of the things you don't have, not the things that you actually have. I think that's my biggest take home from just these few minutes of listening to you. We focus on the things we don't have. And then we get frustrated. Then it's like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with my life? Focus
Yes.
on what you have. Right now, there are people dying of COVID. There are people who are ill. Just ticking off, I have my health. I have my eyes. I can
Yes.
see. I can taste. I can, appreciating those little things is a good starting point.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely love that. So now you're helping people, you're helping other women, people in business to stay afloat. Tell us a little bit about your process. What do you do to help people who are in a similar situation?
Yes. So right now I started with training, because when that happened to me, I hid. Like I wasn't on social media. I was embarrassed. But then my friends, my family, my former coworkers started, messaging me, "Where are you? What's happening? We need your help." And I realized that there was a need for me. It was like a superhero costume waiting for me to put on. And that's how I started. That's just how I started helping people. I shared with them what I know. I shared with them all the strategies I have done in the past, I have used in the past.
Mhm.
Quickly my followers, people who want my help, grew. In a year I was able to do 200 trainings, 200 trainings all over, and many entrepreneurs. But then I realized that this year women mostly actually wanted to take, to help, wanted my help longer. So
Okay.
yeah, wanted my help longer. They don't want those, one-off trainings anymore. So that's when I
Yes.
started doing my mentoring program. And in my mentoring program, that's where I tell them that your business, yes, you have a business. Yes, you started this business because you wanted to solve a problem, but you're forgetting again the one thing, the first thing that you need to do is, who are you and why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Who are you and
I
why are you doing this?
I like the fact that you start with why. A lot of people just start talking about what it is they do, but they don't really give the reason why they're doing what they do.
Yes. Yes. So my process, I actually call it, there's a framework that I follow, which is a combination of NLP and marketing. I call
Mm.
it PRIME. PRIME is priming rapport, intent, Meta and Milton, the language patterns and emotion. So priming is the first part. That is where you really, prime yourself as a
Yes.
business owner. You prime
Yeah.
yourself. What are you? Who are you? What are your values? The second is creating rapport. But before you create rapport, you have to answer the question, who do you serve? Just last night, I asked my mentees, I asked them, who do you serve? Who do you help? And that
Yes.
very simple question confused them. Like, why are you asking us this question? Aren't we supposed to serve everybody? No, you're not supposed to serve everybody. When you're still serving everybody, you're actually not serving anyone.
Yes.
The
Yes.
message becomes diluted, and they were like all confused. I don't know. I don't know who I'm serving. That's foundational. That's foundational. And then the three is in intent. And I asked them the
Yes.
question, why are you here? Why are you doing this? What is your objective? And they're confused. Why are you asking us this question? We're here for you to, we're here to help, to ask your help in business. And I said, this is how I'm helping you with your business.
Yes.
I ask you all of these questions. It's not, I'm gonna share with you how to run ads. Yes, I can do that. I can tell you how to run Facebook ads, but if you don't have your objective, if you don't have who you serve, which boxes are we gonna tick? You know?
So let's just stop there for a minute because I can see there's people online who are watching on Facebook and YouTube. Step by step, give me like a 5-step process of the things somebody should consider when they are seriously thinking about putting themselves out there business wise.
Yes. So my 5-step process is the priming. So P starts for priming. It's a neuro-linguistic programming concept where you prepare. So in my case, in my program, it's preparing yourself and preparing your brain and preparing your client's brain to accept your offer. Okay, that's the priming part. Again, you prepare yourself. We forget about why we do things. We forget our values, again, our purpose, all of those things that are foundational. We have to have that first. We have to have that first. The second is rapport. It stands for rapport. Rapport basically is people like people who are like them. Okay, people like people who are like them, but who are like them. So you have to identify your people. You have to identify your target clients. What are their hopes? What are their dreams? What are their frustrations? What do they want tomorrow? What keeps them up at night? You have to identify that so that eventually, when you already implement the strategies and techniques, you have that to squeeze from. And then the I is for intention. What is your intention in objective? And people ask me this, how is this related to Facebook ads? Very much so, because in Facebook ads, I'm in digital marketing. The Facebook will ask you, what is your objective? Is it for awareness? Is it for sales conversion? Is it for people to engage with you? Is it for people to view your videos? What is your objective? Number 4 is Meta and Milton. Meta and Milton, in NLP, Meta is chunking down, Milton is chunking up, or hypnotic language. Us, we live our lives with we distort, delete, and generalize thoughts. Okay, data, because that's how we live. We can't, we are faced with 35,000 decisions every day that we have to choose. We have to, 35,000 decisions. And Meta makes us delete, makes us distort, makes generalize some of these data so that we can decide. So what happens is, you are programmed. You become programmed. So say, for example, we say words like, I'm a failure. That's meta, because you're really not. But that's because that's what you hear. You generalize. Okay? Or sometimes you say, courses are expensive. I don't want to do that. All courses are expensive. Who says? Or why do you say that? What is expensive? So that's meta. As a business owner, you have to know that language. You have to know the things that you are unconsciously thinking of so that you can dig deeper into yourself. Milton, on the other hand, is using language to help you sell yourself. Example, using the word imagine, using the word realize, using the word notice. These are hypnotic words. And finally, the fifth in my framework is called emotions. People buy your product. So I know we have listeners here from all over the world, and business owners, sales agents, entrepreneurs. People buy based on emotion 95% of the time. So us as business owners, as entrepreneurs, as sellers, as marketers, have to sell using emotions. And what emotions are you going to use? If you don't, again, go back to priming and identifying your clients or your customers. You have to know their feelings. You have to know which emotions to use. How are your products going to solve their problems? So that is how, those are the things that you need to do first. All the Facebook ads, all the authority building, all the reciprocity, it will follow once you have this building blocks, the foundation. Because when you don't have that, it's not stable. You have to make it stable first. And that's how, I did this myself. That's how I'm able to share this with all of you.
Absolutely wonderful. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we will discuss more about this amazing work you're doing to help entrepreneurs. Give us a second, ladies. Good to be back. So, we are still looking for speakers for our December event. Please go onto our website, theherstoryscircle.com, register to speak. We have one more event before the end of the year. So, Valerie, we were talking about the advantage of the situation we're in right now, especially when it comes to digital marketing, selling anything online. What are the advantages of what is happening with COVID-19 and how can people tap into those advantages?
Number one, the world has become, I was sharing earlier, boundaryless. Boundaryless. You will see here that I have a map of the Philippines behind me because that's part of who I am. I try to bring my country, represent my country everywhere in whatever business, in whatever form. But actually, what I realize is that I can bring this everywhere without going anywhere because the world is now boundaryless. I have clients, I speak all over. I have clients from all over the world. And that for me, I mean, we're a developing country. It also helps us bring our country and bring our nation ahead, not ahead but at par with everybody else. That gives us that opportunity and that chance. Okay, so that's one. Number two is, as long as you shift your mindset, okay, as long as you shift your mindset, you will really realize many advantages. Example, that 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 company that I left, when I lost that job, I actually trained my team right before I left with Facebook, with digital marketing. 1 year after, I asked them, I said, how are you guys? Are you still selling? And the guy said, one of my staff said, ma'am, we're very thankful because if not for you, we will not be able to survive. Your training, just one training, helped us increase sales by 42%. So if that's not an advantage, I don't know what is. And that was in the middle of a pandemic. That was when the world was shut down. That was when we were social distancing. That was when we weren't allowed to go out. But still, they were able to increase their sales by 42%. So that's an advantage. You don't have to go out. And another one is, it has democratized entrepreneurship. There was a time when I was with the advertising agency, advertising agencies and marketing in the client side, we will spend billions, at least in Filipinos, Filipino peso, billions to advertise. Right now, you don't have to. Okay, you don't have to. A few $300, for example. Me, I spent $300 on Facebook ads last year. That's it. But I was able to train many, like 5,000, 6,000 people just with $300. So you
That's
don't
just
have to spend.
amazing. That is wonderful. I'm so looking forward to having you speak at the summit tomorrow, Valerie. So tune in, everybody. She's going to be on tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Melbourne time, 9 o'clock in New Zealand, 4 a.m. in the Philippines. But Valerie, thank you so much for coming online today and inspiring people with your story. These are the stories we want to hear, stories of positivity, finding the advantages and things that go wrong. And we're really looking forward to working with you going forwards. Thank you
Thank
for
you
tuning in,
so
everybody. I'll be back again tomorrow. Barely don't go away. Have a fantastic day, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. And bye for now.